This video uses chord charts, traditional music notation, and tablature, also known as tab. This is a note chart. Each vertical line represents a guitar string. Each horizontal line represents a fret. Dots are placed on the note chart to show you which strings and frets to hold in order to play scales or chords. In some cases, like this example, hollow dots represent an open string. This note chart shows 3 dots on the first string. The dots represent the notes to play on the fretboard. To play the notes below, simply pick the first string open, then the first fret, then the third fret. You can also play it descending by picking the first string 3rd fret, then 1st fret, then open. Here we are using more than one string. To play the notes on this chart, pick the 2nd string open, 1st fret, 3rd fret, then switch to the 1st string open, then the 1st fret, then the 3rd fret. You can also play this descending by starting with the 1st string 3rd fret, then 1st fret, and open, then play the 2nd string notes, 3rd, 1st, then open. When notes are intended to be played on higher frets, the fret number is listed to the left or right of the chart. The previous exercise did not use fret numbers because the notes were near the open position or within range of the nut. In this exercise, the number 7 tells us that the lowest fret we use is the 7th fret. To play this section, start with the 1st string 7th fret, followed by the 8th fret, then the 10th fret. Or to play it descending, start with the 1st string 10th, then 8th, then 7th fret. This is a chord chart. It looks identical to a note chart, however it is played differently. Notice there is only one note on each string, where on the note charts there were 3 notes. Chord charts show you groups of notes that can be played or strummed together. Dots are placed on the chord chart to show you which strings and frets to hold to play a chord. Sometimes numbers are placed under the chord chart to show you which fingers to use for each note. This chord chart shows 3 X's and 3 O's. The X's mean you do not play the strings they line up with. The O's represent open notes for the string they line up with. To play the chord below, simply strum or pick strings 3, 2, and 1 so that they ring out at the same time. This next chart adds a fretted note. The new note would be held using your 1st finger on the 3rd string behind the 1st fret. To play the chord, strum or pick strings 3, 2, and 1 so they ring out at the same time. Here we are using all strings. The 6th or lowest string is open. The 5th string note is held down with your 2nd finger. 4th string note is held down with your 3rd finger. The 3rd string note is held down with your 1st finger. The 2nd and 1st strings are open. Strum or pick all 6 strings so they ring out at the same time. It is often necessary to hold down 2 or more strings with 1 finger. This technique is called barring. Chords using this technique are called bar chords. If you are having trouble with this chord, move on for now. In a few short sections, your fingers will be strong enough to play all of these chords. Just like the numbered frets for note charts, when chords are intended to be played on higher frets, the fret number is listed next to the chord chart. The previous exercise did not use fret numbers because the chords were all in the open position or within range of the nut. This exercise has us playing a bar chord on the 5th fret of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings. Strings 4, 5, and 6 are silent. Tab is the easiest way to learn to read guitar music. The top line always represents the first string of your guitar. The second line represents the second string and on through the sixth string. And numbers represent the frets that you play. So if a number 1 is written on the top line of the tab staff, you would play the first fret on the first string. If a 1 is written followed by a 2, you would play the first fret on the first string, followed by the second fret on the first string. You can also play 2 or more notes together. On the tab, we see the first string is open, and the second string calls for the first fret. Place your index finger on the second string first fret and position it so the bottom of your finger is not touching the first string. Then pick both the second and first strings together. You'll be able to use this video even if you do not learn to read traditional notation. However, we have included an introduction in this section. Music is traditionally written on a staff. A staff consists of 5 lines and 4 spaces which represent the different notes of the musical scale. The notes represented on the staff come from our musical alphabet. They are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. After the G note, the alphabet starts over with A. This also works in reverse if you are playing or writing the notes backwards. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, and so on. Guitar music is written on the treble cleft. Whenever you see this symbol, the music can be played on a guitar. The notes of the treble clef start with E on the very bottom line. The space above E represents an F note. The line above F represents a G. Notes can extend above and below the staff by the use of ledger lines. There are also different versions of most notes called accidentals. Accidentals consist of sharps or flats. To make a note sharp is to raise it 1 fret on the guitar. To make a note flat is to lower it 1 fret on the guitar. One way of writing sharps or flats on the staff is to place the symbol before the note you want to change. Another way of writing sharps or flats is to use a key signature. Simply put, a key signature is a group of sharps or flats at the very beginning of a staff line. The sharp or flat note in the key signature indicates that all notes of the same name will be altered throughout the piece of music. If the key signature has a sharp symbol on an F, you are to play F sharp in place of F for the remainder of the piece of music unless otherwise indicated by another accidental symbol. When a sharp or flat note needs to be changed back to its original non-accidental state, a natural symbol is used. Most guitar music uses both tablature and staff notation, which allows you to choose which method of reading you would like to use. Some guitar music uses all 3 methods. In this example, you can choose between the note chart, standard notation, and tab. All 3 methods indicate the same chord. Bar lines are the vertical lines that divide tablature and staff music into sections. The measure is the space between bar lines. Music is the combination of time and sound.